Republicans control all three branches of government, and yet they're facing a possible government shutdown over an immigration impasse created entirely by President Trump. How can it be the Schumer shutdown when Republicans control the White House, the House, and the Senate?
Come on, you know the answer to that as well as anybody. I mean, I have to laugh when people say that, oh, we control the House, the Senate, the White House, why can't you get this done? You know as well as anybody that it takes 60 votes in the Senate to pass an appropriations bill, right? You know that.
I know that.
Okay, so when you only have 51 votes in the Senate, then you have to have Democrat support in order to keep the government, to fund the government. So that's the answer to your question.
Republicans have been trying all week to blame Democrats for a possible shutdown. They're saying the Democrats are shutting the government down, even though Republicans are in control of the House, the Senate, and the White House. Democrats Democrats can't even shut their computers down without Paul Ryan's permission.
Republicans control the White House, both houses of Congress. Make the case to me why Democrats will take the blame here in the mind of the American voters.
Well, you guys, this is not your first rodeo. You understand how this place works, and it really comes down to what are 9 Democrat senators going to do in the Senate.
He's either lying to you or he doesn't understand that if you're in the Senate, you actually need 60 votes to break a filibuster.
At the White House, first of all, you need 60 votes.
The second thing is it's just not a good look for Republicans. If there is a shutdown, they would basically end the year controlling Congress and the White House and having a shutdown on their watch. They would likely get blamed.
Let's be clear about why all this is happening. Trump was the one who ended DACA, and
Effective immediately, the Department of Homeland Security is taking steps to lift the shadow of deportation from these young people. Over the next few months, eligible individuals who do not present a risk to national security or public safety will be able to request temporary relief from deportation proceedings and apply for work authorization. It's not a permanent fix. This is a temporary stopgap measure. It's not a permanent fix. This is a temporary stopgap measure. This is a temporary stopgap measure.
Let's be clear about why all this is happening. Trump was the one who ended DACA.
But wouldn't it be interesting to note that it would be President Trump, if Congress does act, and they'll take bipartisan measure, but if they do act, it would be President Trump, who was the first president since Ronald Reagan in 1986 to sign any kind of major immigration changes to our law, which could very well include all the provisions included in DACA.
And you know what? President Obama himself had said that it was meant to be temporary. We all knew that the Dreamers Act, the DACA, was supposed to be temporary.
Let's be clear about why all this is happening. Trump was the one who ended DACA.
It's not a permanent fix. This is a temporary stopgap measure.
Let's be clear about why all this is happening. Trump was the one who ended DACA and created this crisis in the first place. You could have easily accepted a bipartisan deal to fix it. And on top of that, Republicans control all three branches of government. If they can't even get an immigration deal or keep the government open, I think I know what voters will say in the fall.
Thanks, everyone. Jim, thank you.
This has been a closer